Clouds of water possibly found in brown dwarf atmosphere. From Discovery News. If you'll notice, that looks like an awfully familiar object in our solar system, but more on that a little later. Finding clouds of water floating in the atmosphere of an alien world is a significant find. Now astronomers have reported preliminary findings that water clouds have been detected in the atmosphere of a brown dwarf a mere 7.3 light years from Earth. I'm not going to read this whole thing out to you guys, but it's called WISE J0855-0714. It was hiding in archived data from NASA's Wide Field Infrared Survey Telescope, or WISE, and is notable in that it is the coolest brown dwarf known. And then it says, do ultra-cool brown dwarfs surround us? Well, if you use common sense, yeah, they do. Does this look familiar? It's called Jupiter. It's an ultra-cool brown dwarf star, right inside of our solar system. It's forming water oceans right now. Here's another one. It's called Saturn, an ultra-cool brown dwarf star, right inside of our solar system. Astronomers seem to ignore these objects. I don't know why. They're being really weird. Here I've linked what I considered to be significant considering the article. I put the article up here. Couple of problems and ideas. Brown dwarfs synthesize hydrogen gas with oxygen gas, making water. So this finding is no surprise if the general theory of stellar metamorphosis is taken into account. Number 2. It will cool and shrink as the material deposits as solid liquid structure, undergoing basic thermodynamic phase transitions called deposition and condensation, which means it will become an alien planet with white, fluffy clouds rolling over a habitable terrain in its future when it is much more evolved. Number 3. This is not a failed star. It is an intermediately aged star. The failed nonsense is a direct result of scientists thinking stars are fusion reactors. They are not. They are giant electrochemical, thermochemical events which are taking elements and combining them into molecules. They are chemical events, not nuclear events. Nuclear events are galactic phenomenon, like quasars and things like that. Number 4. It is not the antithesis of a life-giving habitat. It is actually the thesis of a life-producing habitat in its earliest stages of life formation, when the first molecules are synthesized, like water, methane, amino acids, etc. In the general theory of stellar metamorphosis, life formation is a direct result of the evolution of a star, and this brown dwarf is in intermediate stages. In other words, they claim it's just a big ball of gas. There's a little bit of water, but it's not fluffy clouds and all this other stuff. And it's the antithesis of a life-giving habitat, as they know it. They usually use this "we" as if it includes all scientists and natural philosophers on the entire planet. But no, it doesn't include me. I actually disagree with their interpretations because they don't know what they're doing. So to say "we" is to include me, which is not true at all. It's them. They don't know what they're doing, yet if you show them what's really going on, what they'll do is call you a pseudoscientist, a crank, or a crackpot. But unfortunately, they don't have any interest in the fact that hydrogen gas mixing with oxygen gas makes water. It's like these scientists, on one hand, they don't know what they're doing, and on the other, they don't know what they're doing. But if they would just work together, they could figure out the obvious things of nature. The RS-25 engines on the retired space shuttle, these are going to go into the SLS craft, 5 of them, 4 of them to be exact, which are going to send humans into space further than before. But these engines right here use liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. And when they burn, they expand greatly and produce what's called water. This blast of energy in the bottom from the nozzle is water. This is what makes those large clouds that you see from those rocket launches. But, they don't like talking about oxygen combining with um, hydrogen because it means that reaction is exothermic. It releases an enormous amount of heat. I don't know why they ignore things like this. So those clouds of water inside of that brown dwarf will produce very, very large storms, and it will be very, very turbulent because the hydrogen is combining with the oxygen, and it will radiate in infrared, and that's basically the same chemical reaction as what powers rockets. But there you go.